Good evening, good evening, good evening. Grab your notebook, grab your pen. It is time for our business credit score explain training. What you need to do to get approved for funding. Look, I see we have some people in the house early. Look, come on, somebody. I absolutely love it. Good, 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 guys. So get your notebook, get your pen. This is a comprehensive training. Hey, y'all. Hey, look, we back at it. So yesterday there was a great big thunderstorm and we literally lost power in the middle of the live stream. OMG, but we're all good and we're all set and we're all ready today. So guys, this is going to be a free live training. Do me a favor. This works best when we're interactive. So leave me comments. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. Okay, interact. I'm going to be asking you questions. I'm going to be giving you action items. And more importantly, this is a training. So you're going to learn, right? And I see there are 5 people on here already. Look, come on, somebody. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Okay, and we're going to jump right in. Tonight, we're going to talk about business credit scores. And this is specifically for my entrepreneurs, for my professionals with a side hustle, for my business owners, for my investors. And this is one thing that I see so many people just have questions around. So because of you, shout out to my Patreon Wealth Warriors. Because of my Patreon Wealth Warriors, I put together this training to answer some of your questions and more importantly, to help you have results. Look, I see y'all. Look, y'all can see me. Y'all can hear me. Okay. Good evening, all. Look, I can see you. Look, here go my wealth warrior, right? Welcome, everybody. Hey, love. Look, there goes Cece in the house. All good. Everything is all good. Okay, good. Hello. Are y'all excited? Get your notebook, get your pen. Make sure you like this and let's jump right in, okay? And so business credit scores explained. And so who am I, right? What we're going to talk about honestly is how lenders approve you for business funding, right? What they're actually looking for. And for those of you that don't know me, I am a wealth building empowerment coach and I am an entrepreneur wealth strategist. And I work primarily with wealth builders, entrepreneurs, business owners, investors, my professionals with a side hustle to help them build their empire. Look, I see you. I see Angela. I see Cece. Look, I see y'all. Good evening. All right. Are y'all excited? This is something you guys have been asking for. So I do want to set the tone for everybody. I teach faith-based wealth building. And so the foundation of everything we do, so I put everything, right? The foundation of everything we do is Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to their children's children, right? So understanding that income supports lifestyle, but wealth, look, come on, somebody, wealth supports generations. Look, I see Jocelyn in the building. Hey, y'all. Guys, the reason why that's important is because sometimes as believers, when we start talking about money, people start acting a little bit funny, right? And so I did not mean for that to rhyme. We talk about money, people act funny. Look, can we have some fun while we learn tonight, right? I know you're a certain kind of person if you're on here live on a Thursday night learning about business credit scores, right? You have some goals, right? But the reason why I always like to set the tone is because we're doing this for a reason. We're doing this to build wealth, to build our legacy, to build our empire, to leave an inheritance to our children's children. And more importantly, and the thing I think a lot of people miss is we're doing this so we can lead by example. How many of you are the first in your family? If you're the first in your family, put first in the comments. If you're the first in your family to build wealth, the first in the family to be an entrepreneur, the first in the family to invest, the first in the family to want to lead by example, the first in your family to want to break that generational curse, you're the first in the family that was trying to do something different, right? When you are the first, you are the trendsetter, right? You are the one that's leading by example. So the generations and your brothers and sisters and your sons and daughters and your nephews and your nieces and the people in the community, so that they can look up to you, you can lead by example so that they can have the same results. So come on, somebody, you're the first. I know that's right. And so setting the tone for what we're doing and why we are doing it, okay? And so why do business credit scores matter for our entrepreneurs? I see you, Catherine. Hey, love. I'm so happy that you made it. So why does this matter for our entrepreneurs? This is something I want everybody. So we're going to jump right into. Shout out to all of the 20 people who are on here. It would be a blessing if there's 20 people on here that there's 20 likes too. Come on, somebody. Right? Like I see Proverbs 13:22. I know that's right. And so why does this matter for entrepreneurs? We're going to jump right into the training because I want to make sure I get everything out to you tonight, right? But your business credit scores impact your ability to secure funding, right? And so if you want to scale your business, have access to capital, invest in growth, and double your revenue, you must learn how to look good on paper. Hey, Shannon, I see you, love. I can't wait for your business coaching strategy session. Come on, somebody. People are investing and getting their 90-day game plan, their customized plan to grow their business. And so the truth. Somebody put truth in the comments. The truth is that most entrepreneurs don't need to put in more effort. You guys are working hard. I see you, Mikkel. I see you, Jocelyn. I see you, Catherine. I see you, Shannon. You guys are putting in a lot of effort. What you need is funding. You need help with credit, and you need business direction, right? You need business direction, meaning how do I get more clients and customers? It's not just about credit, but it's also about how you actually build your business so you can pay the credit back and have a surplus. That's why so many of you are either going to Wealth on Water Mastermind or doing business coaching strategy sessions, because you realize the credit is only one component of this. So without direction and strategy for growth, you repeat the same experience over and over again. Look, the truth. Can y'all relate to that? The truth. I see you, Arthur, right? The truth. Come on, somebody. Look, business, you said business direction is very, very, very important, right? And so that leads me to Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent surely lead surely to abundance. Funding favors the prepared business owner and wealth builder. It's about being a good steward. So let me just say this right here. Absolutely nothing I say tonight is fluff. Everything is very, very, very intentional. The reason why the word abundance is so super important is because many of us are running our business and side hustle the same way we live with our paycheck, right? It's you get a client here, a client there. There's no streamlined process. It's just sometimes you're using your own personal money. Come on, somebody to fund your business. So I want you guys to get into a mindset, business credit scores, but also growing and scaling your business for the purpose of abundance, the purpose of surplus, the purpose of building your net worth. That's why the business credit scores, the business credit funding, the business growth is coupled with your plan to launch, to relaunch, marketing strategy, all of those things. So shout out to everybody. Look, you said business direction is very, very important. And so if you're on this training, come on, somebody, that means you are a business owner or aspiring business owner or entrepreneur or professional with a side hustle. So we need to work on the mindset as I'm also training you about business credit scores. They go hand in hand. Okay, and so what are we going to cover tonight? Somebody put tonight in the comments. Specifically tonight, we're going to talk about what business credit scores are, how lenders use them to approve you, the major business credit bureaus, your business credit, the business credit models, how trade lines report, creating a business credit profile, increasing your business credit scores, and how to position your business for funding. Look, that's everything. Look, come on, somebody, for tonight. Hey, love. Hey, Nemo from are you from Los Angeles for real, Nemo? Nemo, Los Angeles. I love that name. Thank you so much for joining tonight, right? That's some of the things, and this is because of my Wealth Warrior said we need this training. So I want to know who is in the audience tonight, right? Ask you guys a quick question. Are you currently a business owner? Are you a professional with a side hustle? Are you a real estate investor? Or are you planning to start a business? Guys, put a 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. I want to know who is on this training tonight, right? So I say Cece, she is a business owner. Come on, somebody. Who else is out there? Are you a business owner, a professional with a side hustle, a real estate investor, or planning to start a business? Don't be shy, y'all. Look, we're here to support each other and to learn. Hey, Lisa, look, I see you right there. Hey, family. Okay, good. And Shannon, look, Shannon says she is planning to start a business. Look, Mikkel is already a business owner. Oh, hey, Nathan, I'm glad you could join us. A business owner. Okay, good. Catherine is starting to learn a business. Come on, somebody. 1. Okay, so we have a good mix here. This is actually great. And let me say why this is so important. For the people that are looking to launch or relaunch their business, this is very timely training, because you guys can be in position to do some things in advance, right? To have some success. For my other business owners who have already started, They don't teach business credit. They don't teach business credit scores, right? So you have the opportunity to learn this and maximize on a foundation that you've already built. So a lot of times that also means that you can have some outcomes as far as funding a little bit faster because you have some foundational things in place. Come on, somebody. This is good for everybody. Look, here I see somebody. Here we go. 1 and 3. I know that's right, Angela. I ain't bad at it at all. Okay. And so what are business credit scores? So right into training. Okay. So what are business credit scores and why they actually matter, what they measure? Okay. For business credit scores, they're going to measure your payment history, your credit usage, your financial stability. And one of the biggest things, I said this last night before our power went out, is the risk. This is the biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this, right? Is that, oh, look, Sweet said I'm actually relaunching a business. I know that's right. Is that your business credit scores are going to help lenders determine, should we approve this business for funding? They're looking to assess the risk in lending to you. Somebody put risk in the comments. They're looking to assess the risk in lending to you. Can I be honest with you? But look, all my newbies, when I sip my water, that means I'm about to say something inappropriate, probably. Okay. And for all my vets, y'all already know. Looking good on paper and doing a couple of things will change everything for you. Sometimes you're still getting caught up with having the business thriving, but if you do a couple of things right away with personal and business credit, it can lead to capital and access to funding that's going to help you grow, right? And now, even tonight, one of the things I'm going to share, and I want you guys to pay close attention to, is wise uses for the funds, because we've had people follow me. Hey, y'all. Hey, get funding. Excellent. And then use money to pay off personal debt. Use money to do other things that did not grow their business. It ended up being a worse situation because now you got personal debt and you have business debt and you did not grow your business. You did not put something in place to get more clients, more customers, more marketing, more sales, streamline the process, fine tune your product. So now you added debt without adding a way to pay the debt back. Got it good look. Like you said, the risk. They're looking to assess the risk in lending to you. So that's why looking good on paper is literally going to give you options. Like you said, newbies, look, welcome and ride with us. Newbies, welcome and ride with us, right? But that's why it's so important to understand some wise uses for the funds. And guys, right now, this is a great time for me to point out that at the bottom of the screen, you are going to see that you guys can text the word free, 267-709-4170, to schedule a free 15-minute wealth alignment phone call. Shout out to Mikkel, who recently had one, Shannon, a couple of people, CC, that was a little while ago. Right now, CC's going to Wealth on Water. Shannon already has her business coaching strategy session. If you want to get some clarity from me directly about what is the best path. Everybody is not at the stage where they're ready for Wealth on Water Mastermind right now. To be honest, we only have 10 spots left. Look, there's 24 people on here. There's 24 people on here. We only got 10 spots left, right? And so that may not be the best fit. But if you want to have that real quick clarity conversation with me, then make sure you text us. Our system will send you the link directly for you to get on my calendar. And I have some time slots for like the next 2 weeks, and then it will be closing out. Got it good? All right. And so 3 major business credit bureaus. Okay. Dun&Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Business. Look, and you said, look, come on, Catherine. You said, to the new people, you are in the right place at the right time. Let's go. Hold on. I got to say that one because Miss Catherine, one of our ride or die Patreon Wealth Warriors, also one of our Make Real Estate Real. To the new people, you are in the right place at the right time. Come on, somebody. Y'all, nugget to all the new people. We're going to learn, and you've already been learning some things. We're going to learn and have fun at the same time. Okay. But it brings me so much joy to see our Patreon Wealth Warriors on here. And I love seeing your comments. I love your support. I love your feedback. Just know that it genuinely means so much to me. So thank you guys as you're participating. You guys give me the energy to keep doing this every single day, right? You said you are in the best place. Amen. All right. So the business credit bureaus. There's 3 major bureaus: Dun&Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Business. Each bureau collects data about your business, okay? And they review, and lenders often review, especially for business credit, multiple reports. Now, the one thing I want to say here, and mind you, Let me remind you, this is a training, okay? And so put this on your TV, grab some tea, get your snacks. We already talked about, the bit. While I'm sharing this a little bit about the business bureaus, we already talked a little bit about why business credit is important and why lenders are assessing the risk in lending to you. Let me just say this right here. I'm about to sip my water. Are there more business credit bureaus than these three? Absolutely. These are the three biggest business credit bureaus, the three most well-known business credit bureaus, and the three business credit bureaus that lenders check the most. My goal for this training is to educate and empower you so that you can have results. So you don't need to be an expert at every business credit bureau with every business credit score. The goal here, guys, is for you guys to get the foundation, look good on paper, because if you pay your stuff on time, you have trade lines reporting, then that's going to help you look good across all. Somebody put all in the comments. All the business credit bureaus and all the business credit scores. So instead of trying to memorize the nuisances between all of them, I want you guys just to focus on having a good, thriving, healthy business. That way you get approved for funding no matter what bureau they check, no matter what business credit score. Does that make sense? You said thank you so much. Look, we appreciate all you do. And I met Catherine in Atlanta recently. I was at another business event for 3 days in Virginia. And nugget right here, for everybody watching the replay, you're going to learn. But everybody watching this live, you're going to learn too. But I do my trainings my way because this is our time to interact. And let me just say that I love when I meet you all in person. I met Catherine in Dominican Republic a couple of years ago for Make Real Estate Real. And then recently I was in Atlanta for another, shout out to Nikki Saunders for her Lions Behavior event. There was 3 days. And Catherine was in Atlanta. And I was like, Catherine, I gave her my hotel and she came out to give me hugs and see me. And it was such a blessing to see you again, right? So the blessing is to look good for all the business credit bureaus, right? So you can be in position. Absolutely, Coach Terry, is awesome. The difference when you learn from someone. Look, amen. All right. So the Dun&Bradstreet, Experian, and Business Equifax are the three biggest business credit bureaus. Okay, the biggest. Now, why business credit scores matter, right? So they're going to help you qualify for business credit cards, corporate cards, fleet cards, lines of credit, working capital, term loans, SBA loans, definitely, right? Micro loans, vendor credit, equipment financing, and so much more. And when you have weak business credit scores, it leads to denials, it leads to higher rates, it leads to lower credit limits. And nugget right here, one of the reasons why I absolutely love business credit is because you have more options, more different types of lenders, less strict requirements depending on who the lender is, and much higher limits and better terms. And the best part, somebody put best in the comments. The best part, I'm gonna sip my water on this one. I need y'all to get this in your spirit. The best part is that every EIN has its own borrowing power. Boom. For all my newbies, I'm a little bit extra. Boom. I don't think y'all understand what I said. For personal credit, it's your name, your personal social, your date of birth. But for business credit, you can literally have 3 businesses. You could be a podcaster, you could be a coaching consultant for education, and you can have a fitness gym. 3 different businesses, 3 different EINs. You can literally build business credit for all 3 of them and get funding for all 3 of them. Let me give you a real quick scenario. Let's say by following me and getting coaching, you have mapped out a plan where you qualify for $50,000 in 90 days. $50,000 in 90 days. Now times that times 3 because you're using strategy. My goal is to educate. So you learn the process and then you duplicate it. So $50,000 for the first EIN, $50,000 for the second EIN, $50,000 for the third EIN. You just now increased your borrowing power because you learned a system, and because you have a business, you're able to borrow against each EIN. Boom. Somebody put boom in the comments, right? Look. Yes, look. The best part, look, the best part, more options. Look, y'all, I don't think you understand. That's why this information is worth 6 and 7 figures. I'm not fluffing. Our wealth warriors, if they add up all the credit cards, all the fleet cards, all the vendor accounts, all the lines of credit, all the equipment financing, all the working capital, all the real estate approvals, wealth warriors on here have gotten 100K plus in funding or are on their way. Look, hey, King, I see you. Thank you so much for joining, right? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, look, Shannon, you had a wealth alignment call too. Look, come on, somebody. So I want you guys to understand the power of what you're learning and why this is so important. Shout out to the 30 people who are on here tonight. Come on, somebody. And y'all said, I want to know about this. Okay. And so who am I? For those of you that know me, hey, y'all, hey, but for all of our newcomers, the biggest thing I want you to understand is that I am not a YouTuber. I am not a content creator. I am a business coach that leverages social media to train, to coach, to empower my community and my entrepreneurs and my wealth builders. The thing that's most important is that I have been a completely self-employed entrepreneur since the age of 38. So I don't teach theory. I don't teach what I've guessed. I don't teach what I've chat GPT'd. I don't teach what I Googled. Look, I'm gonna talk my stuff because I have some battle wounds. I teach not only what I know, but I've been able to, as a single mother of 3, build an international brand with 20 streams of income by coupling credit knowledge, financial literacy, real estate investing, and launching my own brand from something that was my dining room table, a laptop, a cell phone, and a dream, now to an international brand that worked with some trusted brands like 9 to 5 Millionaire, like E.T.'s Rebuild, like Jeremy Anderson's Next Level Speakers Conference, like the Connect Network on the CW. I'm not saying that to talk about me. I'm saying that to say that when you want to learn about business, it's wise to learn from someone who is actually a business coach and actually a self-employed entrepreneur so they can actually help you get the results. Look, come on, somebody. All right. So I'm so happy that you guys are here. And so tip, if you have been following me for business credit, that means you are a business owner. So that means part of your goal should be to actually grow your business too, right? The goal is to have a surplus so you can pay the business credit back, not just to get into a bunch of debt, but to actually leverage. Like you said, newbie, she is for real, for real. Come on, somebody. I see you, CC. Right. And so the goal is to have a surplus so you can pay the credit back and continue to grow. And that's honestly where I thrive. This is what I love to do. And I've helped so many people doing it. I'm going to continue to help people thrive so they can support their families, so they can support their communities, so they can live the lifestyle that they desire and they deserve. So don't forget to also grow the business as you are growing your business credit. And that leads me to, come on, somebody, that leads me to Wealth on Water Mastermind. For those of you that do not know, we have a mastermind coming up in July. We only have 10 spots left, so registration will be closing soon. If you want more information, make sure you jump on a wealth alignment call with me immediately. Wealth on Water is specifically to scale your brand, double your revenue, and we are going to experience it at sea, okay? It's a luxury cruise. And so Wealth on Water is an exclusive mastermind for entrepreneurs and professionals who are putting in the work, but not yet seeing the income or time freedom they deserve. And so it's specifically an implementation-focused luxury experience. And we're going to provide a clear strategy for you to scale your brand and double revenue within 6 to 12 months aboard Royal Caribbean's Utopia of the Seas. And not only will it be me there in person, but we have industry experts that I just announced. Anthony Flynn, who is a CEO of a $65 million nonprofit. Work with Chick-fil-A, work with TEDx, work with FedEx, work with huge brands, who's going to be one of our coaches. But more importantly, I want you to understand, I need to say this, Wealth on Water is not a bill. It is not an expense. It's an investment. It's an investment into your future. If you started the thing, the goal should be to grow the thing. It's also a business expense. So I'm just going to leave that right there as far as taxes and CP. No, I'm not a tax professional, right? But let me just say that it is a business mastermind. So our goal is to help you have results. So if you want to know more information about that, like you said, come on, somebody. If you want to know more information about that, look, Lisa's going to Wealth on Water last night. Cece's going to Wealth on Water Mastermind. Come on, somebody. then make sure you reach out to me. Okay, positioning your business for funding. Yes, $65 million. I posted it on Instagram. I'll post it again it's posted again in Patreon. Our coaches are no joke. And you do not get access to these coaches in a mastermind of 30 entrepreneurs. Let me just say, this is an exclusive mastermind. That's why I have to speak to everybody before I approve their attendance. So I'm gonna leave that right there. All right, come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. All right, and so positioning your business for funding, right? So lenders are going to evaluate your business credit scores, your revenue, your time in business matters. You said, I am coming to learn. Come on, somebody. Right, banking activity and financial stability. So these are the things I want you guys to be mindful of. Credit scores, what are lenders looking at to evaluate you? They're looking specifically at personal and business credit scores. They're looking specifically at revenue, time in business, banking activity, and financial stability. If you have a pen and paper, and you should write these things down, because your goal is to look low risk to the borrower. Your goal is to look like a low risk borrower, meaning that it's a no-brainer. You look at stable enough on paper that they feel comfortable lending money to you. Okay, and so this brings us to James 1:8 about being double-minded. The biggest thing I want you guys to take away here, and I'm always going to give God the glory through everything that we do, right? I would not be here if it was not for him and changing my mindset and following some of these principles. Faith-based principles have helped me tremendously. And so the one thing I want to say to you, a double-minded person is unstable in all they do. Why does that matter? Because your belief has to be in alignment and your actions have to be in alignment with what you say you want. Let me say it again real quick. Your actions and your beliefs have to be in alignment with what you say you want. Don't tell me you want to build wealth, but you do Uber Eats every single day. Don't tell me you want to build wealth and you have money for a girls trip, but not money for a mastermind. Don't tell me you want to build wealth and you have no budget and you're not monitoring your expenses and your income. Don't tell me you want to build wealth and you're spending money frivolously or emotional spending and you have not put money management as a priority or investing in coaching as a priority to grow your portfolio. We don't here. Look in our wealth warrior community, right? We practice what we preach. So our beliefs are in alignment with our actions. Look, amen. Look, is that okay? If that's okay, put yes in the comments. And that's okay. And so some of the biggest, the top business credit score models, okay? There are more credit, look, actions, belief, look, actions, look, plus belief equal results. Come on, somebody. And so these are some of the major business. Look, I see you, love. Look, that's okay. I'll make sure I got the right people in the room. You say, yes, that is okay. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. All right. I absolutely love it. And so business credit scoring model. So guys, you do not have to be an expert, but this is a training to help you guys learn. And so some of the most common scoring models that lenders review is the Paydex score from Dun&Bradstreet, your Experian IntelliScore Plus, your Business Equifax Credit Risk Score, and your FICO SBSS score, right? So each scoring model evaluates something a little bit differently, but they're all still looking at assessing the risk in lending to you, right? How stable you look on paper. And so, guys, now, this next part of the training, right? The training is like in 3 parts. The first part, I'm laying the foundation and going through some of the mindset and talking to you about the broad mindset about risk and business credit scores. Now we're transitioning into the second phase of the training. This phase of the training, I'm going to outline the scoring models, what they're looking at in different ranges, and give you guys some tips. And then for the third phase, I'm going to talk about some good uses, how you can raise your credit scores. And I'm going to also talk about some of the trade lines. And the goal is so that you can have tangible results and come out of this knowing what you need to do for your brand. Now, what I will say right here, let me sip my water. What I will say is give yourself some grace. You're not going to be a business credit score expert in one training. This is probably one you need to watch over and over again. You're also welcome to join our Wealth Warrior community where I do monthly live Q&As and workshops. We have 2 next week that will not be on YouTube, but This is an introduction into information that can literally equal 6 and 7 figures for you. And I have over 20 years of experience. Okay. So you're not going to be an expert overnight, but I want to make sure I'm sharing all of this with you. Like you say, yes, come on, somebody. You said, amen. Let's go. There is no change until you change. I know that's right. Sip, sip. Look, you said sip, sip. Let's go. Hey, love, I see you. Okay. So your paydex score, this is one of the ones that's talked about the most, right? It goes from 0 to 100. Anything above an 80 is excellent. Okay. This is specifically for Dun&Bradstreet. Some of the key metrics that it measures is your vendor payment history and how quickly you pay your bills. Tip. Somebody put tip in the comments, right? And there's 28 people on here now. It would be amazing if there's 28 likes, right? Make sure y'all share this on your social media pages too, because people don't train like this, especially for free on YouTube. Come on, somebody. Somebody put tip in the comments. I want you to understand. Let me just say this right here. Everything you know about personal credit, throw it out the window. Okay, throw it out the window. Literally, business credit is very, very, very different. Okay, and so you would never look tip. You would never get a higher FICO credit score because of paying things earlier. Now you can do for utilization, paying things on time, but paying things earlier, there's nothing in the FICO scoring model that gives you extra credit. I'm gonna say it like that, extra credit for that. There is for business credit. They pay attention to if you have a net 30 account, did you pay it on the 28th day, the 29th day? Did you pay it on the 10th day? And for business credit, for the paydex score, you are actually rewarded for paying your vendor accounts, your net 30 accounts, for paying your things early. Okay, look, give yourself some grace, right? You're not going to be an expert overnight. I got 20 years. 20 years. Y'all supposed to say, you don't look like you could have 20 years of experience. I am 47 years old, y'all. I am 47 years old and I have over 20 years of experience. OMG. All right, everybody back on track. Everybody get back on track. Okay, so that's for the paydex score. And the next one is your Experian IntelliScore. Okay, that also goes from 0 to 100. Oh, thank you, CC. Look, she said, and looking good. Come on, somebody, looking good, my sister. I appreciate y'all. Look, flattery will get you everywhere. Your Experian IntelliScore. Now, I will say this too. Just because I've been doing this for so long, I'm actually seeing that a lot of the business credit card companies and a lot of the traditional lenders use the Experian business credit score a lot more. That's just a trend that I've seen on the back end because I actually work with lenders. I see underwriting criteria. I pay attention to some of the feedback. And so just a little nugget is that for revolving credit, for a lot of the credit cards, I'm noticing that they're looking at the Experian. Thank you so much. The Experian card, right? Card. Let me smile. I'm smiling. I'm a goofball. My Patreon, all the warriors know that I'm totally a goofball. Okay. So the Experian IntelliScore, a higher scores equals lower risk. Okay. So your Experian IntelliScore, this is your Experian Business IntelliScore. It evaluates payment history, credit usage, business size, and industry risk. So understand that the different scoring models look at some different things, and most lenders for business credit evaluate more than one bureau, more than one report, right? Now for the IntelliScore, because many of you guys are not as familiar with the IntelliScore, I wanted to add a little bit more information for you. So generally, plus the business credit scores is generally 76 to 100, which indicates a low risk. So for your experience score, if you have a 76 to 100, you're usually looked at like a lower risk. Look at this. A score of 51 to 75 is considered a low to medium risk. And so I put down in the bottom of the screen, the bottom of this slide, kind of like a range, right? You know how I talk about with personal credit, what a 600 is, what a 700 is, what a, an 800 is, what a 500 is. So I want you guys to know that for your Experian, you're looking for a 76 to 100 to be considered a good applicant, which means you are low risk to the lender. If you have learned something, first of all, have you learned something tonight? If you have learned something, if you have learned something already, put yes in the comments. I want to make sure that as I am teaching, training, talking, sipping my water, that you're actually learning something. So if you learned something already, put yes in the comments. You said, look in the mail. You said yes. Okay, good. So we're going to go on for the rest of some more of the scoring models. Okay, perfect. All right. And so the next one that most people do not know about, don't know a whole lot about, is your Equifax business credit score. So it measures payment behavior, credit utilization, credit history length, and public records. Have you guys seen the difference in some of the scoring models, right? You said Catherine says she's learning. Shannon says she's learning. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. CC says she's learning. Look, come on, somebody. Fawn, yes, great information. Thank you so much, right? You're learning. Hey, Kaya, look, another one of our wealth warriors on here. Love to see you guys, right? So you see a little bit of the difference between the scoring models, right? They're looking at something a little bit different. Equifax is looking at some of your public records, right? You guys know, well, you guys may not know that sometimes if you do, let me say this right here. Pay attention to what lenders report on your business credit reports when they approve you for funding. There are some aggressive merchant cash advance lenders. These are fintech lenders that will give you a lot of money. I have personally used them. I actually like merchant cash advances and working capital, especially when I'm buying vehicles. I have literally gotten 50 to 80,000 just direct deposited in my business checking account multiple times from merchant cash advances and working capital and payment processors. Let me set some of them will put a lien on your business until it is paid back. That is actually not uncommon, right? Because the goal is that you're going to pay the money back and everything will be fine. And sometimes those liens, right, like it's like a lien, like the guarantee payment, especially because for merchant cash advances, sometimes you have a short and aggressive payback time. It might be 6 months, 12 months. They're giving you $80,000. They're saying, hey, we're going to put a lien against your business. And then once you pay it back, we'll take the lien off. And so just be mindful that that is something that sometimes takes place. Usually it can come on, it can come off, or sometimes you can even negotiate that. Look, I'm not even going to go through all of that, but I guys want you to be, you said this is good. Okay, good info. Is that helping you guys? I'm giving you guys some insider tips as we're going through this information. But I want you to see that your Equifax business credit score specifically, they're looking at some public records. That's the reason why you're seeing that, because they're looking for liens and judgments against your business, right? Often used by traditional lenders. And so because most people are not familiar with your Equifax business credit risk score, and I'm going to leave this on the screen while I'm sharing this with you, because my goal for a training is for you to learn, for you to be aware, for you to be educated, for you to be empowered, right? I see you, Nathan. Thank you so much, right? And so generally a 700 or higher is good for the Equifax business credit risk score. You see the name? Equifax business credit risk score, 700 or higher. And it's on a scale of 101 to 992. So very different. Generally scores of 650 give you better rates. So a 650 and above. 700 is great, right? But a 650 and above. And so understand that if they even break it up, right, sometimes as far as what they're looking for to approve you. So they're looking at your business credit risk score, your payment index, and your business failure score. The business failure score is something that people don't talk about a whole lot, but it is considered a good indicator of low likelihood of business failure. Let me read that again. I need you guys to get this one right. This is a training. You don't see videos like this on YouTube, but this is a training. Your business failure score. I'm not sure that any of you, many people don't even know that they have a score like this, right? It's considered a good indicator of how likely your business is for failure. Let me come off. Let me explain this. So first of all, have you ever heard of that before? Some of you, this is the first time you've ever heard it. I didn't actually put it in this workshop. I just did a training maybe a month ago on 5 hacks to build your business credit scores. Guys, when I repost this, and I will, because this is one of those trainings that you need to watch. Well, given that everything still works fine, we're going to bind that up. Everything's going to be amazing. I will repost it so you can watch again. This should be one of those trainings that you watch again, but couple that with how to build business credit. And in there, I talk a lot about 95% of businesses fail the first 5 years, right? I've been in business for almost 10 years. So that's where you're seeing that actual credit score. You said, I seen that on my Nav account. Come on, somebody. Y'all better go ahead. I love the fact that you are taking the information and learning and executing it. Sometimes you see those things. That's excellent, love. I love that you saw that. Sometimes you see that, you don't understand what does it really mean. Because of that statistic, right? It's actually 50% of businesses fail the first year, 95% that fail the very first 5 years. Now, do not be discouraged. They're looking at millions and millions and millions of businesses. But this is why we have training, we have education, and I'm going to hammer into your head over and over again that just having an LLC and a website is not how you grow. You need a plan for getting clients and customers, because you can be the best. You can have the best Airbnb, the best transportation company, the best daycare, the best coach, the best trainer, the best dog walker. You can be the absolute best. If you have no way to get clients and customers, you will be the best and broke. The best and broke. You have to. This is where I see most entrepreneurs struggle, to be honest, is that they launch the thing, but they have no mechanism besides word of mouth. Like you guys have been doing coaching strategy sessions, word of mouth to get people, clients, and customers. That goes into this business failure score, right? Because they understand that people launch businesses, but they don't necessarily stay in business. My goal as a business empowerment coach is to teach you guys both financial literacy, funding, also credit, and how to actually scale your business so you have clients and customers so you can actually pay the credit back and have a surplus. So that's what it's talking about. Look, you said facts, right? It's so true. Just launching the business is one thing. That's great. But what is your system for getting clients and customers? That's where I see most people need my help. That's why I have the coaching. That's why we're doing Wealth on Water. Scale your business, double your revenue. But that's what that score is. And that's why it's so important, because as they're looking at you, they're looking at everything. How long you've been in business, your industry. Sometimes they will absolutely Google you. So like when I talk about in the other training, Google your business and see what comes up. I'm telling you all those things for a reason, because part of the thing that they're looking at is how likely is your business to thrive. Somebody put thrive in the comments. Are y'all receiving this? Is this helpful tonight? How likely are you to continue to thrive? They don't want to give money to a business that they are predicting is going to fail. Does that make sense? I want you guys to thrive. Look, thrive, right? That's what that score is about. And that's something that's very different from personal credit. Okay, right? We want you all to be able to thrive. But the fact that they're actually looking at, that's what they're looking at. Are you going to go out? Are you going to go out of business, right? We want you to thrive. Look, come on, somebody. I see y'all. I see you. You said, so Terry, you were saying that they can't cash up me the money. New people I'm playing, right? No, they cannot cash app you. Look, I know that's right, CC. CC, don't give me a heart attack tonight, okay? Don't give me a heart attack, right? To thrive. You said, thank you for explaining that. Does that make sense, love? Okay, good. All right. Your FICO, this is your business, not your personal. Your business FICO SBSS score is used mostly for SBA guys. It goes from 0 to 300. So it's frequently used for, I see you, CC. Look, CC trying to give me a heart attack. Nobody better not ever cash at me or ask for my cash app. Look, come on, somebody, right? You said it makes sense. Yes. Okay, good. And so your FICO SBSS score goes from 0 to 300, and is frequently used for SBA loans and bank lending decisions. So many lenders are looking for a 160 plus for approvals, And so question right here. I'm going to keep this very interactive. How many of you actually know what your business credit scores are right now, right? Leave a comment. Yes, if you checked your business credit scores in the last 30 days, or no, if you need to check it. And right, there's no right or wrong answers here, right? Get on my calendar if you need help with this, right? But yes, you know what your business credit scores, you've checked them in the last 30 days, or no, I need to check it, right? So most entrepreneurs don't know their business credit scores, and that's usually why funding catches them off guard, right? So it has some people, some no, some people, some yes, some people, some no. So make that an action item, right? Just as we're actually learning, going back and hopefully with a little bit more understanding, You said, I'm looking at mine on Nav. Look, come on, somebody. You know I love Nav. Shout out to the 32 people who are on here and learning on a Thursday night, right? And mind you, many of our wealth warriors have gotten funding. Shout out to Ebony and her husband. I highlight them a lot because not only did they get funding, but they got over $270,000 worth of funding and then launched a trucking business together, right? Shout out to Sherry. Many of you know Sherry. She was one part of our Elite 10 group coaching. She's gotten well over $100,000 in business funding. This is the very beginning. And now she is a completely self-employed entrepreneur, a real estate investor, and she helps other people with their real estate investing. So I want you guys to know that it's great when you know how to do it. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's a blessing when you can help somebody else do it, right? I have a proven system. It's a proven system. That means other people have gone through and used the same information to have results, right? So shout out to all of our wealth warriors who are executing. Look, shout out to Sherry. Look, I know you guys all know, some of you guys know Sherry know Sherry for real, right? So proud of everything she's doing. And Ebony, look, come on, somebody. And so smart uses for business credit. Now, let me talk to y'all. I need y'all to hear me right here. Smart uses for business credit. One of the things I'm seeing a lot when I do wealth alignment phone calls and when I have business coaching with you guys, and I'm not faulting you. Look, no judgment zone. I'm here to help you. But one of the reasons why I see a lot of entrepreneurs get in trouble is because they get a business credit card, they get equipment financing, they get working capital, they get a line of credit, and they use it to pay off personal credit, or they use it for something like, updating brand colors. Guys, understand that when you have funding, you want to use it for something that's going to bring you an ROI, like Wealth on Water Mastermind, like a business coaching. But even if it's not me, right? I'm joking around. Obviously, I would love for you guys to work with us, work with me, because I know that I'm going to get you a result. But I want you guys to get in the mindset of, where am I going to put this funding that's going to grow my business, to bring me back a surplus, so I can not only pay the business credit back with ease, but so my business can continue to thrive. Does that make sense? Hey, everybody. Oh, hey, Mr. Love. Look, better late than never. I watch all over again. Thank you so much. Look, one of our wealth warriors, right, on his way. Look, come on, somebody. Just my pay. Okay, you're checking everything out. You said yes. You said, and Terry, teach us how to use the money, not just get it. Look, how to use the money, not just how to get it. Shout out to the 38 people that are on here tonight learning on a Thursday night. So here are some wise uses. Somebody put wise in the comments. Somebody put wise in the comments, right? Some tense and others. Are there more than this? Absolutely. But I want to be transparent about, be transparent about some of the smart ways, right? So marketing campaigns are always wise because that's going to bring you back a return. Hiring help, equipment, inventory, software systems, AI support. Look, I see y'all. Look, y'all say, hey, Otis, look, wise. A wise use for the funds, a wise use for the funds, wise use, right? Things, and I want you guys to be thinking about, do you have systems in place for this? How can you put the money here that will help you bring back a return? Equipment, inventory, website development, especially if you're going to be using your website for SEO to get more clients and customers, and that's going to be great. And so also for advertising, look, professional coaching. Come on, somebody. Business education, business masterminds, business conferences, business training, real estate investing, right? All of those things. And so they're all wise uses for the funding. Now, let me just say this real quick. The goal, guys, is let's say you're currently getting 5 clients a month. Let me, this is a training, right? Let's say you have a coaching program that's $1,000. So 5 clients per month means that you're getting $5,000 a month. But your goal is to get to $10,000 a month, right? And so you do not have a repeatable system. You do not have a social media campaign. You do not have the right language or the right CTAs, call to actions, or KPIs in place to actually grow. Well, then using funding to actually pay for a business coach. Well, invest in a business coach, or invest in a marketing campaign, or invest in somebody on your team that can do copy for your email list or for your funnels. That's a wise use, because the goal, the logic is that I have something in place. I got approved for funding. I use that funding for something that's going to bring me back a return. And with the result of that thing that I invested in now brings me 10 customers a month. Now I'm making $10,000 a month. That was a wise use because you got a return. So I put ROI in the comment. I want you guys to always, always, always measure, with myself included. With myself included. Many of you guys have done things. You've gotten business credit cards. You've gotten a real estate loan. You've gotten a mortgage pre-approval. You've gotten fleet cards that are worth $5,000, and you did a course that was worth, $99, right? So you've gotten an ROI. So I want you guys to always look at everything you invest in. Can I teach tonight? Can I teach tonight? I don't want you guys to launch this amazing brand and get in trouble and now have personal debt and have business debt, right? So ROI, always be assessing, what is the return going to be on that money, on that investment as you guys look for services to actually work with. Does that make sense? Look, you said teach. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe so. Look, I don't know about everybody else, but on here, we are real wealth builders. And here, we're doing this for real. On here, we launched our brand because we wanted to thrive. We wanted to thrive. We wanted to thrive. We wanted to thrive. All right, so what did you say, Cece? You said, serious question. I am a single member LLC. Do I need to modify my operational agreement if I want someone else to be my credit sponsor for capital stacking, such as my mother? Great question. Great question. So 2 separate things right here. Okay. If you want to use somebody as a credit partner, then they do generally need to be part of the actual business, right? Because they have to have the authority to be able to take out the funding. Great question. A lot of us are single member LLCs, so they need to be part of it. Capital stacking, sometimes she can actually get some kind of credit card and add you like as an authorized user in an agreement like that. So you may not necessarily, there's ways, look, come on somebody, CC, make sure you access some Patreon too. Sometimes there's ways to get around this, but generally, yes, for business credit, if say there's 2 people on there, right? I'm going to use, who am I going to use? I'm going to use Mr. Love. I'm gonna use Mr. Love as an example. So me and Mr. Love are on a partnership together. And let's say he has great credit and I have bad credit. And he's a 60% partner and I'm 40%. Then he can go ahead and get all the money for the actual LLC, use the time and business and all those things and get approved. Fine. If we're 50-50, then they may need me to write or sign off on it or give approval because we're 50-50 partners. But if you have a single member LLC and somebody else has good credit and they're not part of that LLC at all, they're not on anything, then no, they don't have borrowing power. They can't sign. They're not part of your actual entity. Okay. Look, absolutely. Right. Now, like I said, there's other ways around it because let's say, your mom is able to get, other types of funding, get other types of high limit credit cards, and then she just wants to add you as an authorized user for it. Then that's a way to kind of get around getting some funding right away. But generally, the people who borrow, who sign, must be under the LLC. And having a credit partner is let me spill my water. I love that you asked that. We do this a lot in real estate too. Shout out to all my Make Real Estate Real people. We talk about that, right? Thanks for absolutely. That's what these trainings are about. Look, nugget right here. The reason why I tell you guys to get on here live is because I will answer your questions live. Come on, somebody. We do that a lot with Make Real Estate Real, right? With Make Real Estate Real. But a lot of our hard money lenders also will do that. Using a credit partner is a wise strategy. It is brilliant, honestly, right? But they do need to be part of that entity because just like one of you can't just borrow money with my LLC's name. Do you know what I mean? And sign for it. You don't have the authority. Now, what I will say is you don't necessarily have to start a whole brand new LLC, right? Or anything of that nature, right? Like I always use incorporate.com. I use Ink File, right? This Now Busy, I think it's called. But whoever formed your LLC, also reach out to the Secretary of State where you are. Sometimes you can just do a modification. You can make that adjustment quickly and you can go on. Brilliant. Read in between the lines. Okay. Love it. Great question. All right, y'all. So those are some wise uses for the funds. You said that makes sense, right? Come on. Yep. Absolutely. All right. And 10,000, somebody put 10K in the comments. Right. The reason why I talk about 10K so much is because honestly, let me just say this right here. For all my wealth warriors, I talk about that 10K benchmark a lot. Some of you have already generated $100,000 in your business, but you're not necessarily hitting 10K passively every single month, 10K consistently every single month, right? They both matter. But what I want to really say to you is life changes. Can I be honest? When you start making 10K per month with your business, especially even if it's a side hustle, life starts to change. Life starts to change. People talk about that 20,000 and 50,000, but if I can be very honest, the biggest change in your life, in your investing, in your lifestyle happens at that first, you first start generating that 10K per month. After that, you know what to do. I don't even say you know what to do, but after that, it's easier to scale. Getting to that first 100K, that first 10K per month is usually where you're grinding. You need support. You need the help. Once you start making that consistently, it's a couple of tweaks that you need to start making $20,000 a month and $30,000 a month and $50,000 a month, right, guys? I talk about the very first time I made $25,000 in a day. The very first time I made $55,000 in a day. 55,000 in a day. That was with my course, Credit Leverage Lifestyle. That was with planned webinars. That was with marketing. But when it actually happened, my belief, my mindset about business changed. So that's why I tell you guys that 10K, look, come on, somebody, that 10K is so important, because once you start making that 10K, you're so close to being able to scale to your $250,000 $250,000 a year, your 500,000. You just need a couple of quick things. How many of you guys could use a quick 10K per month, right? Where your brand was actually making, do you know how your life changes at that very first benchmark? And for so many of you, I know that it's a little bit, look, come on, somebody, right? I love 55,000, right? Look, so God is so good. God is so good, right? And so I want you guys to picture it. That's what this slide is about. If you tell me you want to make $10,000 per month, then you also need to map out, like you said, walk and talk heavy. Look, I have a whole story about that, about the very first 25,000, the very first 35,000 in a day, and then the very first 55,000. Because baby, can I just say something? Can I just look, 10K is a shift. I want that. Look, I want somebody. You said that is life-changing. It is. Can I just say something right here? Right. This is we're going to learn and have fun, right? And we're already about to transition to the third part of the training. When I'll talk about the very first time when I had my very first $25,000 day, guys, if you've never seen, can I be real for a minute? Tell me real quick if I can be real. If you've never seen $25,000 liquid just in your bank account with your other money, like just literally sitting there, it does something to you. I remember I was like, I'm about to go to the bank and take this money out because they're going to take it. Y'all, if you've never opened up your online banking and seen it, and I don't mean like a tax refund, I don't mean like a car accident settlement, I mean like you actually saw 25,000. You woke up, you did some activity on Monday, and Tuesday you woke up and there was $25,000 in your bank account from work you had done the day before. Not only will it shift everything for you, but the way that you look at your business, the way that you are a good steward over your money, the way that you share your business, the way that you do business, the way that you operate will completely change. Why? Because you want to do it again. And again, now now you say, okay, I made 25,000. I wonder if I could make 30. Okay, I made 30. I wonder if I can make 35. And then for me, I invest, if I just can be very, very honest, everybody that knows me, right? Is that I invest very heavy in my business. I invest heavy in my business. So I invested in team, softwares, real estate, like vehicles. At the time I was doing vehicles very, very heavy. I had 5 cars that I was renting out at the same time that were bringing me back income. I invest heavy in my business. I didn't go on a shopping spree. I did not go on a bunch of trips. I did not get a bunch of things. I invested heavy in my business, and that allowed me to have a $35,000 a month. And then right after that, have a $55,000 a day that needed to more than that for the actual month, because I already was making 10,000. I'm not talking Jesus. Let me be clear. I'm not sharing a bunch of numbers to boast, because I've had seasons of up and have seasons and down. I'm sharing because I want you guys to know that not only is it possible, but if you plan it out, it will happen. If you plan it out, it will happen. I planned for it. I had a system for it. I was dedicated. I put in the work, and then I had a tangible result, and it changed my entire life. And we're talking about, this was in 2020, my first $25,000 day. We're in 2026 right now. I'm just going to leave that right there. So this right here, guys, is if you want to make $10,000 a month, I want you guys to know, can you sacrifice in this season to get what you want for a lifetime? Bars. I say that all the time. I was working. I was doing webinars. I was doing webinars every single month. I was doing emails, text messages, social media promotion, and the outcome was life-changing. Shout out to the 41 people who are on here live. Thank you so much for joining. So guys, I want you to put in the comments, you have to put a 10K, guys, plan for it. You need to know, do you have high ticket and low volume, or low ticket and high volume, right? If you have a $10,000 VIP day, you only need 1 client per month. If you have a $1,000 coaching program, 10 clients per month. You have a $500 online course, you need 20 enrollments per month, which you actually have, right? Come on, bars, right? Plan for it. Plan for it. Come on, somebody. This is the key. This is the thing that people miss. You don't stumble on $55,000 months. You don't stumble on $250,000 a year. You don't stumble on $500K per year. That one year, the next year, I sold $330,000 for my course. You don't stumble on that. You plan for it. I want you guys to plan for your legacy and your wealth building. If you have a $25 book, planner, t-shirt, digital product, you need 400 customers per month. So ask yourself, what is my product or service? What is the price point? And how many do I need per month to get to 10K? Let me say it again. Ask yourself, what is my product or service? Those are not the only things. I'm just giving you a point of reference for whatever it is you do. Ask yourself, right? This is an action item. So I'm going to put action in the comments. Action item. Ask yourself, what is your product or service? Ask yourself, what is the price point for your product or service? And then ask yourself, how many do you need to generate $10,000 per month? A lot of times it's either going to be one or two things. You need to adjust your marketing, your sales, all your things that actually increase the volume. Sometimes you need to adjust your actual pricing. It is what it is, right? So you have to plan for it, right? So that's going to be one of your action items, especially if you do a wealth alignment phone call and we get on the business coaching strategy session. I will give you a 90-day game plan. Shout out to Mr. Love. He just got his 90-day game plan, right? Shout out to Shannon, got her 90-day game plan. We're coming up on Monday, right? But we have to have the thing in place to actually scale it. Now, if you still need help refining the thing, shout out to LaJoya, who just had her business coaching strategy session yesterday, right? Where she's launching her brand. That's okay too. Launch with wisdom, going into it, understanding what you need to make that amount. Got it good. Does that make sense? So reality check, right? Only about 18% of US households earn $100,000 annually. So it's about systems, habits, and stewardship. Why am I sharing that? I don't want you to think that, that everybody is making $500,000 a month. It's not true. Everybody's not making $50,000 a month. It's not true. Everybody's not making $1 million a year. It's not true. I want to give you guys a point of reference. Many of you are doing better than you actually believe. It's usually like the top 5-10% that are making that consistent income. And so many of you are doing amazing. I want you to give yourself some grace. Got it good, King? I sent you that text message. Look, it's not playing, right? Look, yes, right. I'm working the plan. Come on, somebody, right? And so I want you guys to have a point of reference to understand that you're working towards being in that top 10%, okay? Now, how business trade lines report, right? So your credit accounts are in your business name. Look, are in your business name, right? And there's some examples are vendor accounts, business credit cards, equipment financing, and lines of credit. So these accounts report on your your payment history on your business credit reports. And so how to check your reports. Guys, you can go directly to Dun&Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Business, but I always recommend, and I'll put, when I repost this, I'll put their link in the description. I'm going to Nav, right? Because Nav will give you all three at a much lower rate, right? Look, come on, somebody. You said average 76 household a year. Give yourself some grace. Come on, somebody. Right. So check it's one of your action items is to check your business credit reports. Now, let me just say this right here. You do not have a bunch of rights for business credit like you do for personal credit. It is expensive to get your Dun&Bradstreet from them, to get Equifax business and get Experian business. That's one reason why I love Nav, because not only do they give you all three at a much lower price, not trying to break your pockets, right? A much lower price, but they also have Experian Boost. They also have Business Prime, where you can monitor, where you can get your personal reports, where you can have a Net 30 marketplace. Like they have some business trade lines that help you build business credit. I absolutely love them. Shout out to all of our wealth warriors. We actually had Nav. Let me sip my water because people really can't say this. We had Nav come do a private workshop for our Patreon wealth warriors on literally a private Zoom. The whole Nav, the company, they don't partner with everybody. They would not do that for everybody. I'm just going to let them sip my water on that one, where they explain their products. And so I absolutely love them. I have been talking about Nav for years and years and years before they ever did this workshop, because they have a phenomenal product, right? You said, come on, somebody, all three. And so they will give you all three for a much lower rate. You said, yes, we did. Look, yes, we did, right? Y'all remember? Look, you said, boss, look, come on, somebody, right? You remember, Catherine, when they came and did it for all my wealth warrior masters? That replay is posted, right? You said, see, that's the kind of coaching we got. Come on, somebody, right? And so nav.com, I will put them in the you said that's huge. Yeah, they're a phenomenal partner with us now. And it's because they have a phenomenal product. And I was talking about them for years before we ever had a partnership. Okay. Come on, somebody. I love you. You said Bank of America business gives you score for free if you have Bank of America. Do they give you all the Bank of America card? Do they give you all the bureaus though and all the scores? That's excellent to know. Thank you so much for sharing that, right? If you have the Bank of America, look, come on, somebody. Bank of America will give you. So what I would just say is that NAV gives you all the scoring models and all bureaus. And so, yes, look, Miss Love, we have NAV came and did a private workshop. We have a private, actually a private contact email and everything for NAV if we ever have problems. And so it's a blessing. All right. So that's part of your action items, is to check your reports. Okay. How to create a business credit profile. Somebody put profile in the comments. We're almost there. We're doing good. We're doing excellent tonight, y'all. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I just thought about buying a business address as a business expense. It's 1,000%. It's 1,000% a legitimate business tax write-off. I like Opus, and so I'll post that also. Right? What did you say? You said, do you have to sign up for NAV? So great question. Do you have to sign up for NAV? So NAV does have a free option. That's a summary that will give you like an overall, I think it's like A, B, C, D, E. But if you want their monitoring and the business credit scores and all the different models and personal credit, you do have to sign up. And mind you, again, it's business credit. They're not playing with y'all. They're like, this is business. They consider business to business. So there are fees. They're not really giving away nothing for free. Let me set my... It's business to business. They're not giving away anything for free. That's why I even tell you guys, don't default. Great. That was a great question. Thank you for these questions. That's why I tell you guys, don't default on business credit, because there's not the FCRA. There's not a bunch of dispute stuff. There's not a bunch of rights. There's not somebody you can go complain to. It's business to business. So you need to pay it on time. So yes, NAV has some free stuff. If you want them more comprehensive, then there is an investment. They have different levels. What I will say is that you invest into your business. Right? Like, and invest as you see fit for what you actually need. But I always view it as something I need for my business. I'm gonna invest for my business all day long. But yes, there is a fee, but it depends on what they have different. I think it's the lowest $39, like $79, where I've seen some of the business credit bureaus charge $150 to $300 for one report. Let me see this again. I've seen them charge. Let me say it again. I've seen the business credit bureaus charge $150 to $300 for your business credit report. NAV has programs that I think are like $39 to $79 to get access to all three bureaus, all of your scores, monitoring, and two bureaus for your personal credit. Okay, so that's why I share with you guys resources, right? You said, can you repair business credit like you can personal, or is it just you have to start over? I had some slow pace. Great question. Look, great question. So no, there is not a formal dispute process like there is for personal credit, right? When we write like a certain letter, and then you have, they have to comply under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. But can you dispute something with the business creditor? Absolutely. But you're doing that with the creditor directly. You can write things in the business credit bureaus, but the business credit bureaus do not govern business payers the same way that the Federal Trade Commission and the Fair Credit Reporting Act do personal credit. Now, you don't necessarily have to start all over again, though. That was a great question. You go back to increasing your business credit profiles by adding more tier 1, tier 2, net 30 accounts, right? So adding more business trade lines to your credit reports that are tier 1, tier 2, net 30s that don't check a whole bunch of business credit is going to help you counteract that. That's what you're going to try to do for business credit. You don't necessarily have to start a brand new LLC. That doesn't make sense. But you want to be able to have positive trade lines to actually counteract the negative one. And you should absolutely reach out to the business creditor directly, guys. One thing I will say about business credit, and most people, and guys, is this helping somebody? There's 32 people on here. There should be 30 other 32 likes. Somebody let me know. Let me know if you guys are learning tonight. But guys, your business creditors, they want to work with you. It's very, very Jesus. I don't know how to explain this. It's very, very different. It's business to business. Sometimes ask and you shall receive. If you pick up the phone and say, hey, I've had this account for this amount of time, and I had some slow months, or I had a hardship, or there was a change in, like, whatever the reason is, right? Your language, would you be willing to update this, or would you be willing to remove this? You'd be surprised how much they will work with you if you're still a good client, and let's say you've actually done things on time after that. So there is a way to dispute it. You want to work with them directly, but it is not a formal process that is governed by like the Federal Trade Commission or the FCRA, because it's business to business. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, yes. Is this helping somebody? Look, you said, yes, it's 32. Like, look, come on, somebody, right? You said, I am learning. Look, come on, somebody. All right, I love it. I love it. You said, keep on coaching. Okay, good, good, good. Great, excellent question. I absolutely love it. All right, so how to create a business credit profile, guys. We're about to land the ship, okay? So 1, register your business with the state, LLC, corporation, nonprofit, Inc. Right. Number 2, always get your EIN from the IRS. You are doing that after you register your business. After. Why? Because you want the name to be the same. You say, yes, this is helping. Come on, somebody. All right. Open up your business bank account. I don't care if you have $0 and 0 cents. $0 and 0. This is so. Look, come on, King. Thank you. So he said this is so informative. Look, come on, somebody. Can you add credit to your business credit? Well, let me go through this profile stuff first, and then I'll put your question on the screen. Great question. So open up a business bank account. The one things I want you guys to understand about the business bank account is that it is like an indicator that your business is legitimate, right? So it is very important that as soon as you register your business, as soon as you get your EIN, that you go ahead and you get your business bank account. Some lenders even look at how long you've had your business bank account. Apply for your DUNS number, and then start building vendor accounts, right? I did a whole workshop on just tier 1 accounts. Okay, great question. Can you look, y'all ain't gonna believe this answer. Can you add to your business credit profiles? Yes, you can. Come on, somebody. Yes, you actually can, but it's a process that usually, so Dun&Bradstreet has a service that does that. The individual bureaus, I have to check and see, but it's a fee, right? They're not going to do anything for free. They're not going to do anything for free. Great question. I want you guys to understand. Somebody put 85 in the comments. 85% of business creditors and business lenders do not report to the business credit bureaus. Do not report. When you guys see me highlight certain companies, when you guys see me highlight, talk about certain vendor accounts, I am literally talking about some of the same companies, because I'm talking about companies that I know report. Part of the problem, I need y'all to hear me, y'all are asking excellent questions, I love this, is that people have credit with companies that don't report. So you have all of these accounts, but they're not reporting. You're not building up business credit. You can't force a company to report, but you can work with the business credit bureaus, pay a fee. Sometimes everything's about money. It's business. Can I be honest? Everything is about money. So Dun&Bradstreet has a signal program. I think it's called D&B Signal, that you can pay for, that you can add trade lines. I think it might be wiser. It's wiser. And I don't highlight that program at all, because Dun&Bradstreet is going to charge you up. I've seen them charge $2,000+ for different programs. I'm just going to leave that right there. So there, it's wiser just to work with creditors that actually report. And mind you, business credit reports are one part of the process, right? In the application, we have some fintech companies. Shout out to National Funding, shout out to Rock Financial, shout out to Headway Capital, that are going to approve you based on bank statements and deposits. So just understand 3 things right here. Number 1, everything with business credit is about money. The business credit bureaus will do some things, but it's going to cost you. It's business. Number 2, it's a wise strategy to work with lenders who report. That way you can get credit to grow and scale your business and you're not paying extra fees. They will charge you up. I've seen outrageous amounts for some of the bureaus. That's why I don't highlight those programs, to be very honest with you, right? And number 3, understand that business credit scores are one part of the approval process. You can have not great scores and have great revenue and have great bank statements and be in business for 3 years and get approved for funding. So that's why I said I was a little bit hesitant sometimes to do this actual workshop, because I don't want you guys to get fixated thinking you just got approved because of scores or just got denied because of scores. Remember, I said in the very, very beginning, it's the evaluation of your business. Some of them even look at your industry. They look at the use you put on your application. They're looking at how many years you've been in business. So the business credit scores is one aspect. Did that answer your question? Did that help, love? You listen, talk about the money. Look, it's always right. Yes, absolutely. It's always 85, right? It's always about money with the business credit bureaus, and they will charge you up, right? So work with, you said, yep, absolutely, for equipment financing. I love it, right? So work with reporting vendors. Yep. And I did. So nugget right here, guys. One of your action items after this, when I repost this, there's 2 specific, now as I'm hearing you guys, and mind you, I have like 2,000 videos on my YouTube channel, right? So you'll be on my channel all day long and not find what you need sometimes if you're looking for something specific. Based on our conversation tonight, come on, somebody, y'all give me some love. Based on what I'm hearing from you guys tonight, I'm going to, when I repost this, I'm going to repost 2 trainings specifically that are going to lead into this. I did a specific training on tier 1 vendor accounts. I believe I gave 15 trade lines that report. And I even gave you what bureau they report to and some of their underwriting criteria. I will post that when I post this replay. And I'll also post, I just did a training on how to build business credit, and I put it into 5 buckets, right? And so that's going to help you along with the scores. So step number 1 is doing the work. Step number 2 is monitoring and see where your scores are after doing the work. Got it good? Got it good? Like you said, AM, look, they're training. Amen. All right, good. Excellent. So this is how you create your business credit profiles, right? So Galatians 6:9, right? At the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I don't want you guys to think, Jesus, and I mean this, I don't want you guys to think it's so much work, right? I want you guys to that's why I shout out to Mr. Love, who just did his 90-day plan. If I give you 20 action items, commit to doing 1 thing a day. 1 thing every other day. That way you guys are getting progress and you're building your wealth, but you're not getting overwhelmed. Let me say this right here. Matter of fact, I was just talking to King about this today, right? I was just talking to my King about this today. And what I said is that I think people underestimate the amount of time it takes to get to the point where you're making 6 figures, multiple 6 figures and 7 figures with your brand, right? It does take some time, but once you get it up and running, right? Then it's almost like on autopilot. What I don't want, and let me be serious, don't work 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours at a job and you don't spend 1 hour on your legacy, 1 hour on your wealth building, 1 hour on your business. 1 concentrated hour per day will change everything for you. So as you're taking these items, I don't want you to be overwhelmed, right? I don't want you to be overwhelmed, but I want you guys to be having small wins and making progress while you're actually getting things done. All right, what was your question right here? You said also if your NAICS code is wrong, it can affect your business. Yep, please double check. 1,000%. Yep, good. First. Does that make sense? Yes, I applied for 2 gas cards yes, you said I applied for 2 gas cards for my cargo van visit. Come on, somebody. I absolutely love it, right? Just do a couple of things at a time. Don't work 8 hours at a job. Look, 1 hour. Don't work 8 hours at a job and you don't spend 1 hour on your wealth building on yourself. Amen. So do not give up. You will reap a harvest. I've been doing this. I've been self-employed since 2017. I've been real estate investing since 2004. You said, hold on. You said, added 4 new clients today. 10K, here I come. You better go. Y'all give Mr. Love some love. Look, y'all give Mr. Love some love with the live testimonials. I am so proud of you. Let me tell you what he did. He's been on all of the trainings online, then scheduled a wealth alignment call, and then said, I need more help, and invested, listen to my language, in a business coaching strategy session. Just had your session. Executing. Come on, somebody. I just added 4 new clients today. You better say that heavy. You said that all casually. I am so proud of you. Let me just say this right here. It works if you work it. It works if you work it. It works. There we go. Look. Come on, somebody. Look, Wi-Fi trying to act up. Not today, devil. Look, we back. Right? But nothing like building for your own business, for your own wealth building, right? For doing it for yourself. If you can do it for somebody else, you said, I need a business first class. So I know that's right. You need a business coaching strategy session ASAP. All right, good. Now, and this is what I was, look, I forgot this right here. Look, the devil is a lie. Look, we will not. Look, the devil is a lie. Not today, Wi-Fi. Look, come on, somebody. Right, but I wanted you guys to see, this is my business in 2017. This is how my business started in 2017. Oh my God, Wi-Fi. No, we back. So in 2017, my business started with a printer, a laptop, a shredder, and a dream. Look how Amazon started. Look how Amazon started, right? And so do not despise small beginnings. Okay? 5 tips. Somebody put 5. I want to make sure you guys can still hear me, okay? But the Wi-Fi acted crazy for 1 second. We are back. So somebody put 5 in the comments. I can make sure you guys can still hear me. So 5 tips to increase your business credit scores. Number 1, you said 5. Okay, there we go. Come on. There we go. Look, come on, somebody. All right, 5 tips. Guys, remember these things. Write these down if you need to, because these are going to help you with increasing your scores, okay? Remember, consistency matters. So pay your vendors early, not just on time. Vendors early, not just on time, right? Build multiple trade lines in different types, right? So yes, gas cards and net 30 accounts, but also retail cards, fleet cards, gas cards, lines of credit, corporate cards, working capital. I can go all day long on all the different types of credit, right? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Come on, somebody, right? 5 tips. So not just one type of credit account, but also if you want to build a strong business credit profile, you're mixing up the different types of trade lines, okay? Open trade lines with reporting vendors. We just talked about that, right? Use business credit vendors that report to the business credit bureaus, right? Maintain a low utilization on your cards, specifically when you guys are going for funding. Right now, for business credit, let me say something. Let me say this to you guys. For business credit, they want you to use the credit. I've had people that have a $5,000 card and a $10,000 card and a $20,000 card. They're not using it. Everything has zero balances, no payment history. And then they go and apply for a $50,000 card and get denied. And they're wondering why. For business credit, they want you to use your credit. They're not going to give you a $50,000 card, which is very likely and very common for business credit. They're not going to give you a $50,000 business credit card if you're not using the $5,000 card or the $10,000 card. Jesus, how do I explain this? The way businesses use credit is very different than consumers. Everything I say about consumer credit, take out of your brain for this training. For business credit, not only will they approve you for funding, but they want you to use it. You will see your limits go up, your terms go up. If you are using it, use it, pay it back, use it, pay it back, use it, pay it back. You will see your credit limit increases, your credit lines increases, your credit offers increase, right? And so when you're actually applying for funding, though, you also don't want everything to be maxed out, because then they're going to look at it like, okay, this person might be in financial distress. So it's a fine line, but just get in your spirit. Look, come on, somebody, use your credit. Look, use it or lose it. I love y'all. That's great. Use it or lose it. I absolutely love it. Okay. And so that's another hack for building up your business credit scores, right? Use your cards and then monitor your business credit reports. That way you don't mostly to check for errors and to make sure that if you do have some business credit, that you see it actually reporting. Okay. And so you can access, right, 50,000 to 150,000 in business funding right now. Let me ask you a question. If you had access, right? And I want you guys to put this in the comments. If you had access to $50,000 to $150,000 in business funding right now, right? What would you invest it in, right? Put it in the comments. What would you use it for? What would you invest into your business growth? Would it be business coaching, hiring help and marketing? Would it be equipment? Would it be real estate? Would it be paying off business debt? Look, you said, wow, look, come on, somebody, look. The best answer was first. Wow, you'd invest in wow. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, guys, what would you do with the money right now? Like drop it in the chat, right? Coaching. Look, I love this. Coaching and marketing, great. Look, real estate, great. I absolutely love it, right? Wealth on water. Look, I absolutely love it, right? Because wealth on water is going to do what? Scale your brand, double your revenue. Look, all of the above. Look, all of the above. I absolutely love it. Right. And so I want you guys to start. You said coaching and marketing. I want you guys, you said property. I want you guys to start imagining, right? What does it say? And what did I say at the bottom, right? You said real estate, business coaching, and wealth on water. I absolutely love it. Mentally visualize using the funding. Mentally visualize. Oh, you said I'm bringing a team to wow. Hold on. That right there is a blessing. And I shared, I think maybe 2 trainings ago, I shared how when I went to the Eric Thomas Verified event, that I ended up being blessed to take 7 people with me. 7. The tickets were $1,500 each. And I was a sponsor for that event. God will bless you to be a blessing. God will bless you to be a blessing. God will bless you to be a blessing. I love the fact that you said, not only am I going to go to wow, right, so I can learn how to scale my business and double revenue, but I'm going to bring a team. Bars. Look, come on, somebody. Marketing, absolutely. Look, absolutely, right? Would you say real estate? You said great. Look, great answer, right? Not only you come in, and shout out to Jocelyn, right? Shout out to Jocelyn. I talked about her the other day before we lost power. Jocelyn brought her son to Wealth on Water. Wealth on Water 2025. Jocelyn, shout out to Jocelyn, one of our Patreon wealth warriors. Not only did she come, but she brought her son. Jocelyn, I'm not sure how old your son is. I think maybe like 23, 24, 25. But she bought him. He's in all the pictures and so forth. And not only did he learn, but he ended up getting a brand deal with one of our speakers. He ended up getting a brand deal with one of our speakers. Let me just say this. Our children, my boys are 17, 18, and 29. 17, 18, and 29. Our children will do more of what they see us do than what they hear us say. Let me say it again. Our children, our nephews and nieces, our godchildren, our grandchildren, our brothers and sisters, our youth, they will do more what they see you do than what they hear you say. Let me give you an example. If you say reading's important, but you never read, they may not listen, but they see you on the porch every Sunday reading. They see you every night reading an hour before bed. They're more likely to do that. So like with entrepreneurship, like with building wealth, she said, not only am I going to be in the room, but I'm going to invest in my son coming to Wealth on Water. Look, come on, somebody. Bought him, and he ended up not only having that experience with entrepreneurs, expert coaches, right? Come on, somebody. But you know that the seed that she planted by bringing her son to Wealth on Water? Come on. Bless you, and will bless you to be a blessing. So I want you guys to even think about, as you're learning this information, know who you're going to share it with that's going to help and bless them also, right? And so many entrepreneurs are, look, I don't even know who's next line, right? But are attending Wealth on Water for sales and marketing, hiring team members, and building automated systems. For many people that are going to Wealth on Water, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for funding that becomes fuel for growth. Somebody put growth in the comments. Funding for fuel for growth. Funding for fuel for growth, right? And that's how my credit journey started, with first personal credit, right? Buying my very first house at the age of 21 while only making $14 an hour. The reason why that was such a blessing is because I was in foster care. I was in group homes. I was a mom at the age of 17. Never in a million years did I think being a teenage mom at 17 would then turn into a blessing, where I learned about credit, worked for TransUnion Credit Bureau, and was able to buy a property at the age of 21. This property right here is an actual picture of my actual first house. Later on became a rental property, right? First I lived in it, got an FHA loan, 3.5% down. I got seller's assistance and first-time home buyer grants. Guys, it cost me $1,800. $1,800 to buy my first property. $1,800. And then I transitioned into what? Business credit, right? All of my vehicles in my business name. All of my vehicles are marketing machines. All of my vehicles have earned me money. All of my vehicles are tax write-offs. And so looking good on paper helps you leverage, right? So the real problem, right? What is the real problem? You know, many entrepreneurs, you work very, 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 very hard, but you never position your business properly for funding, right? Growth. You never position your business properly for funding, for growth. So understanding business credit scores changes that, right? Habakkuk, write the vision and make it plain. Successful entrepreneurs build with strategy. How do I get clients and customers? What platform should I be on? What's my client journey? How do people hire me? How do I follow up? What is my product or service? How do I fine tune my product or service? How can I diversify this stream? Successful entrepreneurs build with strategy. Okay. And so the goal, if I can be honest, somebody put goal in the comments. The real goal, right, is to use your credit strategically to access capital, to grow revenue, to build assets, to create financial freedom, right? That's the real goal. He said, nice pick. Nice, but thank you. And so the real goal is to be able to access capital and to grow, right? To have financial freedom, to live the lifestyle that you desire and you deserve, right? The goal isn't necessarily scores, personal credit scores, business credit scores are a vehicle to help you get to the goal, but they are not the actual goal. And so I tell all of you to incorporate the thing that you love to do. Everybody is a business owner. Everybody is a business owner, but many of us have not positioned ourselves to qualify for funding and increase business credit scores and get qualify for business working capital, right? So whatever it is you love to do, and we all love to do different things. We all have different gifts. Incorporate that thing so you can build it as a business, right? That's what his word says. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. What do I love to do? Can you guess? Can you guess? I monetize my passion. I love to talk. Shocker. I love to teach. I love to coach. I love to encourage. I love to empower. I am now a wealth building empowerment coach. I used my gift. He gave me knowledge from credit union, from TransUnion. I went to real estate school. I was a vice chair of zoning. So he gave me credit knowledge, financial literacy, real estate knowledge, and he gave me the gift of gab. Look, come on, somebody. You said talk. Y'all being smart. Right? But all jokes aside, anything that you love to do, I don't care if it's makeup, I don't care if it's painting, I don't care. I saw somebody the other day, I was talking to King about this, that was selling on Facebook Marketplace. She liked to crochet. She made crochet turtles and was selling them in little containers. Crochet turtles. Brilliant idea for $25. I think when I checked, she had sold like 50 of them. 50 crochet turtles times $25, however much that was. And then she was taking more orders. She literally likes to crochet. I seen people do this stud that put like gems and stuff on t-shirts, on hats, on sneakers, whatever it is that you love to do. Use your gift. Teaches your gift. Amen. Right. And so incorporate the thing that you love to do. And so your next step Within the next 24 hours, schedule your wealth alignment phone call, right? This is a real quick 15-minute clarity conversation where we're going to determine the best step for you. Everybody is not ready for Wealth on Water Mastermind. I'm just going to be honest. There's only 10 spots left. There's 34 people watching live. Let me say it again. There's only 10 spots left. There's 34 people watching live, right? It's not the next best step for everybody, but for the people who want to scale their brand and increase revenue in the next 6 to 12 months and double their revenue, it is the best spot, the best choice, right? So Wealth on Water is implementation focused mastermind, right? To scale your brand and double revenue. A business coaching strategy session is a private 60-minute recorded Zoom where I'm going to give you a personalized 90-day game plan, right? And financial roadmap. So schedule your free 15-minute phone alignment call. That way we can talk through what is the next step for you specifically, right? Because the real goal is stability. The real goal is freedom. The real goal is options. The real goal is peace. If you agree with this, put yes in the comments. It's not really that you want to work really hard. It's not really that you want a specific credit score or a specific personal or business credit score. It really is that you want to change your lifestyle. You want to be there for your family. You want to retire your spouse. You want to send your kids to college without student loan debt. You want to have a scholarship fund. You want to open up a charter school. You want to change your zip code. You want to buy a brand new house. You want to buy your parents a house. You want to pay for a loved one's medical care. You want to live in abundance. You want to be able to go on the trip with your family, a family trip to Italy. You want to be able to take time off to spend with your family and not have to worry about PTO. Can I be real with you? The real goal is you want stability. The real goal is you want freedom. The real goal is you want options. The real goal is you want peace. So understand, yes, I shared a bunch of tips with you guys and the action items, but understand and don't never forget what we are doing and why we're doing it, why this is important. This is a vehicle to help you get to stability, a vehicle to help you get to freedom, a vehicle to help you get to options, a vehicle to help you get to peace, right? And so your next step is going to be either, everybody on here either needs a plan or you need implementation, right? One of those things. If you're not hitting your goals, your $10,000 per month with ease, and you want to continue to actually scale. And so how to know what you need, right? If you're unsure what to do next, that's a strategy session. If you know what to do, but you aren't sure how to execute consistently, that's Wealth on Water Mastermind. We'll determine that on the actual phone call. For some of the people that have done coaching recently, right? Cheryl talked about, it just being a game changer. Keisha, who I just went to, is going to Wealth on Water 25 and is going on 26. Allison's actually went 25 and is going 26. Keisha was able to, literally within 30 days, speaking to me, secure a contract for $7,500. Look, Mr. Love was able to just tonight secure 4 clients within 30 days of having a coaching session. Come on, somebody. I want freedom like June 19th. I know that's right. For real. Right? So real people with real results. Real people with real results. Right? And so my final thought, right? One of the things I want to say to you guys is that credit creates opportunity, but strategy creates wealth. Let me say it again. Credit creates opportunity, but strategy creates wealth, right? So let's jump on a quick phone call and figure out what's the best for you. And the last thing I want to say is that if you're worried about the cost of going for it, you should see the price of staying exactly where you are, right? Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. The Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Look, real results, right? Real results. And so guys, let's do a real quick recap. So first of all, did you learn? I talked about business credit scores, the business credit bureaus, business credit scoring models, how to increase your scores, what to use the funding for, what lenders are looking at to evaluate you, the 10K mark, come on, building business credit profiles. Come on, somebody, right? I hope was this super helpful? Y'all share this with somebody and make sure you watch this again. And what I will say is that when I talked about the time freedom, one last thing I'm going to say to you guys is that I am a single mom of 3. I'm a minority female, and my life has not always been that it is right now. One thing I'm super proud of if I can be honest with you, one thing I'm super proud of is that when my boys, Devin and Blake, they are in the seventh, they're in the 11th and 12th grade. Shout out to Devin and Blake, right? I'm Gary pull some things about them because Devin has a job. He's doing amazing. Blake, my youngest son, who's 17, literally was just at the state building for our state, delivering a speech. Only 5 kids. Look, I'm bragging my boys real quick. Only 5 kids for the entire district were chosen. And my son was chosen to speak on the behalf of libraries and talk about the importance of having libraries and keeping them in our community. I'm so proud that the whole entire district, 5 kids were chosen. And my son, Blake, 17-year-old, was chosen. So I'm so super excited. But guys, in all honesty, the time freedom. Yes, I work hard, but right now I am in the office, in the studio, in my house. I'm in my house, in my studio, doing my business, running my international brand. My boys are upstairs. There's no dollar amount you can put on time freedom. There's no dollar amount, Jesus, you can put on being there for your family. Every morning when they go to school, I'm here. Every morning when they come home from school, I'm here. I can chaperone trips. I go to parent-teacher conferences. Anything that they need me to do, I don't have to check with a boss. I don't have to check a schedule. I'm not saying everybody's meant to be a self-employed entrepreneur, but growing my brand has given me the freedom to be a present parent as a single mother, as a minority mother. I know many moms and dads that are single parents that are working 2 and 3 and 4 jobs. I know many children that are 10, 11, 12 that have to do their own hair and iron their own clothes. Can I be real for just a minute? Because this must be for somebody on here, because I did not mean to go here. That cook their own dinners and wash their own clothes and do all their homework by themselves because mommy is working, because daddy is working. Jesus. And I did not want that to be the reality for my boys, because I did grow up like that. I grew up in foster care and group homes and shelters and living with friends. And I said, when I became a mom, Jesus, I did not mean to go here today, but can I just be real quick? I said, I do not want my son, at the time it was my one son, now I have 3. I do not want my boys to grow up like me. I want to be present. I want to be there. I want to be able to I want them to be able, they need some money for a trip to be able to pay for the field trip. I want them to be able to have a brand new coat for wintertime. I want them to go back to school with brand new, with book bags and supplies. I want that for them. I didn't have that. Jesus. Building my brand has enabled me to be a parent in a way that I never experienced in my life for myself. I broke a generational curse. Jesus. Which one of y'all is this for? Because this must be for somebody, because I did not mean to go here, and I do not talk about this like this a lot. I broke a generational curse, and I'm so grateful that God allowed me the knowledge, the skills, the experience to be able to do something I love and build a lifestyle for my family that I value so deeply, that I hope that as they grow up and their husbands and their fathers, that they're also going to be present in their kids' lives and for their wives. Guys, don't get so focused on just the credit that you miss what we're doing and why. If you are a Patreon wealth warrior, if you are connected to our community, that means that you're doing this for a bigger purpose. Remember why you want to build the wealth. Remember why you're leading by example. Remember why you're the generational curse breaker. He will do it. He will bless it, but it takes a little bit more than just faith. Faith without works is dead. We don't just sit on the couch and say, God, do it, God, do it, God, do it. Let me just say this one last thing. We will pray for $1 million, right? God's not going to send you a check for $1 million. God will give you $1 million gift, $1 million opportunity, $1 million a door that opens up, $1 million gift, $1 million skill, $1 million event, $1 million network. Faith without works is dead. So this is about taking the thing you already have, and building it into the vision that you saw for yourself and for your family. I'm grateful. I'm always going to give. As much as I talk about money, I'm going to talk about God even more. I'm always going to give him the glory because this was not supposed to be my life. So as we close the training out, and you guys get on my calendar so I can help you do this. I'm telling you what I've done myself, starting with a laptop and a cell phone. A laptop and a cell phone to an international brand. Has it always been easy? Absolutely not. Has it been hard? Have I made mistakes 1,000 times? Have I had dark days? Absolutely. Are there times I wanted to give up? 1,000,000 times. And with all the ups and all the downs, I need you to hear this, is one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. I would do it all over again because this is the lifestyle that has allowed me to be there for my children. If I knew sooner that I could have freedom, time freedom like this, I would have started sooner. I would have started sooner if I knew that the outcome was me being there for my family. Amen. All right, y'all. I hope that this has helped you. So it was for me, love and success. Come on, somebody, encouraging, like that means God can do it for me too. God is no respecter of persons. If he did it for me, he will do it for you. If he did it for me, he will do it for you. And I'm still growing and I'm still learning. But come on, somebody, right? You said, great reminder to also keep pushing and believing 1,000%. Amen. Remember what we're doing and why we're doing it. So next steps, I'll repost this, watch it, share it with somebody. You did your work for tonight. Go get a snack, go get something to eat, right? Get on my calendar so I can help you so we can determine what it is you need for your wealth building, right? If you do the work, you'll have results. I'm going to talk heavy. I know what I'm doing. If you do the work, you will have results. I would be honored to be part of your journey. I would be honored to help you get there. I'll be honored to give you a blueprint that will help you have the outcomes that you desire. Amen. And share this with a friend. And I'll repost this, and I'll repost the trainings, the additional follow-on items about building business credit and about the trade lines, right? So there's someone depending on your transformation, and you are the generational curse breaker. Amen. All right, y'all. Have a good night. I hope that helps, and I will see you all soon. Good night.